Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to work on another shelf. It's time to expand my display even more here. Got a lot of pre-orders coming, and I decided I might start kind of collecting some other stuff too, which I'll talk about later. But I'm adding another shelf, so I've already kind of cleared it out. I used to have 4 shelves, so you can only see 3 in here, but the top one is half GI Joe and half Cobra. Second one is all GI Joe. This is all Cobra, and this one was half and half too. But I'm going to make this all Cobra and this GI Joe. So this shelf I'm putting in is going to be for just all the Joes. I got an idea. I'm going to turn this into this. Yeah, so I'm gonna model it after the flag. So I got some stuff coming in the mail, and I'm going to kind of put it together. And this video will probably take place over a couple different sessions here. I got some progress to make on it, but let me tell you what I did here. So this is a 6-foot shelf. It's a foot deep. On all my shelves, I put like a peel and stick wallpaper. And so this is no different. This is a peel and stick wallpaper. It's like a dark gray, and it's just a real clean, like smooth one. It's not. Turn this light up a little bit. Yeah, it's not real. It doesn't have like a texture to it or like much of a pattern. It's just kind of a clean one. But yeah, so first I'll start on this side. I knew, as long as I got that 99 in there, that alone would be enough. If the shelf was gray and you had that 99 on the other end, then we're good. I think it's a 99. Maybe it's supposed to be a 66, but I see on the tower of the flag there's a sticker that says 99, unless someone's got them upside down or something. So I'm gonna keep calling it 99. If I'm wrong, let me know. Okay, so that's just vinyl sheets. I just got vinyl sheets. You can order them online. I ordered a pack of multicolored for like $9 off of Amazon. They come in 12 by 12 sheets. They're just a big sticker in assorted colors. So I printed out a 9 on my computer, kind of taped it to the decal or the vinyl, and then cut it out and did it a second time. And now I got these stickers here. These stripes here are actually just paint marker. They're not, super uniform. If you look close enough at them, you can see, it's hand done on there. Although I did stick tape down to kind of mark it out. So each strip has like one side that is perfectly flat or level. But yeah, I kind of mirrored on the flag. I see it kind of goes from like these points. That's where they start. And then it kind of goes up to some random spot up there. I got this little section here. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't have a flag. I never had a flag, but so I'm just kind of trying to figure this out here. I also put in these kind of just black lines because that's kind of that's where the toy snaps together. It looks like I do need to probably chop. It's so funny when you do something and most of the time you show people and they're like, "Oh, that looks really good. I like what you did." And then the first thing you do is start pointing out the things you don't like about it. So here, like these parts kind of cross that black line, and I don't like that. So let me point out some flaws to you right off the bat. But yeah, there we go. And then this is kind of the runway, which is at an angle like that. I looked everywhere for like striped tape. And by that, I mean, like, caution tape would be like black and yellow stripes. But of course, I need it on a scale like this, which is difficult, a lot more difficult than I found or than I thought. So I ended up just kind of winging it with my own striping. This yellow on the toy is yellow and white stripe, but I'm not going to cut out a bunch of little pieces and try to stick them together. A lot of you guys are real meticulous and have the patience to kind of sit there and make everything perfect and even and everything. I'm not like that. I get an idea and I want to run with it and I want it done today. And that's how I am. So you know, sometimes some of my work suffers because of that. But I'm still happy with how this came out. These were not black and white stripes. They're kind of like some weird pattern that I knew I was not going to find anywhere. I actually had a checkered stripe here originally, but I didn't like it, so I just kind of replaced it with black on the outside, thicker, and a white on the inside. And I think it looks good. So that is the shelf, and then I'm going to put up my backdrops like I do. Anyone that's seen my other videos, you might be aware that I have you know, like backdrops that I put behind the figures, you know, just kind of the back wall. Like you can see, there's a brick wall back there. I'm going to do that in this. Photoshopped images that I want to put on the backdrop, measured everything out, and then just kind of laid it out on a poster. So when the poster gets here, I just have to like kind of cut it out. I mean, it's printed as a poster, you know, like if you wanted to do some art or something and print it out, you do this. But, you know, I kind of printed up this background and just put it on here in two different sections and just left enough space so I can cut it up. Cutting it. Okay, so now I have put up the backdrop. I'll show you a better shot and everything. But hey, this is the background of the USS Flag. Basically, we got the superstructure there. I got sky strikers flying off in the air there. We got the crane. We got one of the gun turrets. I got you know, kind of a big radar dish over here. All right, so here we go. This is the far right. We got a dragonfly taking off. There's a bunch of seagulls. Got this radar dish there is going to be your main tower or superstructure. I added the satellite dish myself. I put the American flag in there. I drew all those wires in there. I put some birds in the background. There's a sky striker kind of taking off. We got a gun turret here. We got, you know, a crane. There's another sky striker. And part of this is going to be putting the right figures on it too. You know, I got to have Shipwreck on here. I got to have, I think I'm going to use Hawk as kind of the general of this whole shelf. I don't have Keelhaul. They didn't make Keelhaul. So I think Hawk certainly would be a fitting captain of this. And I got, you know, I got to have some dive, my torpedo and the 60th anniversary diver. And I mean, everybody that's on here, is it going to be, you know, related to the sea or something, or planes? But I'm going to load them up as best as I can. All right, so here's the finished product. I got some guys standing up on it, but yeah, it looks pretty good. The deck looks good. I got some little orange cones I kind of put in the back there. All right, I got some guys on here though. I got a barrel in the background that I kind of made. I'll tell you about that in a second. Shipwreck, I recently got the this guy, Steel Corps Commander and the Twilight Guard. I found them out in the wild, actually. I never seen anything out in the wild, but I went to like a, I don't know, kind of like a record exchange type place, and they had a 2-pack there, and it was better than any price I've seen online, so that's cool. I got this little gas pump here too. I'm trying to get that in focus. And I put some barrels next to it, so you know, that's where they fuel up. It's a little short, so I put like a cell phone power block. I just kind of sticky taped to the bottom of that and hid the actual plug with some orange barrels. But yeah, it looks cool. A couple divers. I want to get another one of these guys so I can have Torpedo have like a little diving team. I got Doc back there. I took his helmet off and his glasses, put his helmet in his hand, and it just kind of refreshed his look a little bit. I was kind of not real happy with the way he was posed, but yeah, he looks cool now. Same thing with Helix. I wasn't real impressed with her. I don't like her arm sword things. I thought they were kind of silly, but I put some just regular guns in her hand, and she looks cool. And I got Night Force Falcon there with Night Force Shockwave's helmet on, just to kind of, make him more of a generic character. I don't really want him to be Falcon necessarily. But yeah, this came out pretty good here, I think. It's a little thin as far as figures go. I need some more, but that's why I put it up. We got a lot of stuff coming in the mail, or a lot of pre-orders coming, and it's just time to kind of pick things up. I also have a little TV set here that I'm going to probably like mount like underneath here or something and hang, or I got to put something on the screen, put some little radar, I don't know, satellite readout or something, I don't know. And then for the barrels, this is what I got. It's like a toxic waste, stupid candy. But yeah, you rip the labels off, which is a pain in the ass. But you get the labels off, and then you can then you get barrels. I got green, there's red, I painted the orange ones. There's yellow, there's purple. There's a few different colors. But yeah, looks pretty good, I think. There we go. Okay, well, there you go. So that's what I got here. Couple things that I was kind of considering, and this is more like an honorable mention. The first thing I'm going to say, because it's not really for me, but if you wanted to, kind of do the same thing here I did, take this idea, go for it. If you had a second shelf below it, that'd be cool for it to make that like the the under deck or something, like below deck, where you can look at the flag and model. You get the computer room and ammo storage and the barracks and all this stuff. You could fill that in and make a whole other shelf out of that too for your display. First thing I was gonna do was like an environmental. I got like brackets kind of between the shelves. They're kind of nice though, because they're like dividers. So I was thinking, maybe one section can be like a Arctic. I'll do like a snowy mountain in the background, or some snowy, winter scene or something, and that's where I can keep the snow serpents and snow job and the polar bear that's coming, and then the next one could be desert, and then another one can be like a laboratory, or next one can be like a computer station kind of room or something. And I thought that would be cool, but the downside of that is that I would have to have Cobra's and Joe's kind of mixed up in each section. And the way that I display them, they're all kind of just like standing there, like holding their guns, just kind of like looking cool. They're not really like in action poses. And the other thing that I was going to do was like a whole shelf where it was like a winter scene. Again, yeah, like mountains off in the distance with snow tops on them, and then like a snowy woods for a section or so, and then maybe like off to the end, I was going to have like a cabin, like Snake Eyes' cabin or something. Like on the outside, you can see, I don't know, like the gutter line and maybe the front door or something like that. It would be kind of weird to transition it, in a two-dimensional image. And then we go inside the cabin. So most of it would, be like inside. You can have a little fireplace in there and a deer's head mounted on the wall, and have a window that looks out and you see winter outside. And you can stand some guys up there. So you got, a snowy area, and then Snake Eyes' cabin. So I almost did that. And then I do have a lower shelf. This is my bottom shelf with Joe's on it that you can see in the video, but I just added another lower one. So I used to have 4. Now I got 6. But the bottom one I'm going to use for something different. What I like about G.I. Joe is that you can just run in like so many different directions with it if you want, like I just collect classified, but since I've been collecting classified, like I go back and I read all these comics, and I watch a little bit of the cartoon, or I watch like history of G.I. Joe, like by other content creators. I did some customizing. I'm getting into customizing my display. You could do a lot with it, and then a lot of you guys collect like all the old stuff too. I haven't collected G.I. Joe really since I've been like 11 or 12 years old. So for me, it's cool because I got like 40 years of history that I can dive into and kind of go down all these different avenues with it. We got a lot of pre-orders coming, which is great, but a lot of them aren't really going to be in our hands for quite a while. And we went all winter without really having like any news or anything. So in that time, I've kind of I did customizing, and I started, just getting into different areas of GI Joe. And anyways, a couple weeks ago I went to like a vintage toy store. Like I went to like the cool like hip part of town where you can, hey, let's get a coffee and then let's go bowling at this 2-lane little mini bowling alley that's like hip, and then we'll go to this ironic arcade with like old shitty video games and drink craft beer, and then we can go to like the vintage toy store and look at shit. And that's what I did. I went to the vintage toy store, and yeah, I've been looking at like all the GI Joe, like the O-rings and stuff in particular, a lot. Ever since I've been making videos, basically, I've been kind of like researching all these different characters and figures and just kind of like looking at stuff. I haven't actually like seen any of them in person in quite a while, so it was wild too. Plus, I'm looking at like these 6-inch figures all the time. So then I go into this toy shop and they got like all this old O-ring stuff. And to you guys, this is not, this is nothing new, but to me, it was like, holy shit, like I can hold like a whole vehicle just in the palm of my hand. Some of these are so small. The guys are like real small. I was like, wow, geez, oh man, I got a few figures like in a box in the garage. I got Flint, I got Globulus, and I don't know. That's probably it. Just ones that Flint, I just never let go. That's the same one I always had. He's all beat up, and like some of his parts are not really right because his arms got real loose and goofy. So I put somebody else's arms on him, and his beret is like rubbed off and shit. But I still have that. And then Globulus, I just saw him somewhere and grabbed them. But yeah, I mean, the vehicles in particular, I mean, some of the stuff it was really kind of neat seeing them. After I went to that vintage toy store, then I was like, that's cool, but I want to find like a flea market where I can just go and there's like a bin of just like beat up O-ring figures or something. And then the sign says $5 each or something. And I don't know if that exists, but I found one good one that I went to. It was a little bit of a distance out from me, and it was fun. It was cool. It was mostly like a train, like a model train show. That was like a big chunk of it, and then there was a lot of like Hot Wheels cars too. I think model trains, maybe I'll get into that when I'm like 80. I don't know. Like that seems fun, like puttering around in the garage and building this big goddamn diorama, putting on a conductor's hat, and that might be fun. But for now, I was just there for GI Joe, and they had a bunch of they had about 3 or 4 different stands where people actually had GI Joes for sale, and that was cool. The market is not what I had hoped it was. People know what these are worth. Obviously, I guess if you're selling them, you're certainly going to just kind of do some research. But I don't know. I didn't think about it. So yeah, they're all individual characters in little individual bags, all marked out and priced, and I was like, man, all right. But I got a couple. I got Toxo Viper. I never had Toxo Viper. I got him. I got Hit and Run. I just saw him. He was in real good shape. I got him, and I got the Interrogator, who I also never had, but I just, as an adult, think he looks like a cool character, so I grabbed him. And I ordered the Electric Eel on eBay. But then I got some vehicles too. So I got the Vamp. You guys all have this, I'm sure, but this is kind of exciting to me. So I got the Vamp. Like, yeah, that's a big difference. And again, you guys all know this, but to me, I'm just like, holy shit, I haven't seen some of this stuff in so long, or in person. So I don't know. I got the Stinger, or I got the Vamp. It's not really complete. It's missing the gun on the top. It's probably missing some other stuff. This thing's broken right here. There's a little split there, but I don't know. I don't care. I got the Snowcat, kind of busted up, but I took it home and I cleaned it up and glued a couple things together. I got the Havoc, and then I ordered a couple things online. I got the Swamp Masher. A little ice cutter here. This thing's kind of floppy, but it looks cool. I don't know. I like this thing. Boom, boom. Ice cutter. I got I got the diver in there, actually. I found the diver too. So I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, I've been kind of collecting some of this old stuff. And with classified, uh, I kind of made a decision that I'm not going to collect the vehicles. I don't have the space for it. And I don't know. I paid $100 for a Stinger. It's a toy car, like there ain't, it's fine, but it's not like, it doesn't blow me away. So for those reasons, I decided I'm just not collecting the vehicles. But I was looking at the O-ring vehicles and I was like, maybe I could collect some of those, and that might be cool. So the next weekend, I'm like, I'm going back to that same flea market, and I'm buying vehicles, man. Like I'm gonna get some stuff and I'll clean them up, and it'll be kind of fun. So I made a list of like I don't know, 12 to 20 vehicles that like I want from the old days. Actually, not even all from the old days. I got the ice cutter. That's not from the Real American Hero line. I do got a couple things that I want that are just from Pursuit of Cobra, and I don't know, just different things. I got the ring neck too. Actually, I forgot about that. I bought the ring neck, which is kind of bringing me in my next point, because I want to like refurbish and kind of like maybe customize an old vehicle, and I want to collect like a handful of cool vehicles and then just kind of stop. I don't want to like keep running with it, but I want to like refurbish one. So I bought the ring neck, and I figure it was not complete, but I'm like, it's still like a decent sized vehicle. So I want to like clean that thing up, give it a fresh paint job, maybe like order some of the replacement parts and get like new stickers and stuff, and just practice and see like what I think of it. So I got the ring neck the other day in the mail. And it's a decent little vehicle, but I also got the thing in the mail that I want to like make my main project, which is the hydrofoil, the Cobra Moray hydrofoil. I got that in the mail yesterday, and I'm going to make a video about cleaning it up and customizing it and refurbishing it, and so that's my next project. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to get into. So next video is going to be about the hydrofoil. I'm gonna clean that up and make it look nice. All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching. G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe.